How do I explain this? First off, my first recording on this, after I posted it on YouTube, there was no commentary. Yeah, so I'm re-recording this because I messed up. That's fine. I'm doing this again. I'm gonna make it probably a little quicker, but not really. I don't know. Uh, we have version 5.25 coming out. This is basically the beginning implementation of Dokkan 2, or quote unquote Dokkan 2. That's gonna have some of the stuff that's been revealed in the past few months. Uh, as you can see, we have some of the things that have been revealed already from the previous demo. This is just more fleshed out and getting prepared for, of course, the 10th anniversary, but also throughout 2025. Let's talk about it here. Now, descriptively, just some of the stuff has already been mentioned here, but Errors translated some of the description that's already been mentioned in the announcement. So the top one right here is just basically the major UI overhaul for the passive skill display. So normally with passives in game, they will look like this. They will be very long, very tedious. It'll be kind of hard to read where certain parts of the passive end. And it'll be hard to see or read where characters, where parts of the character's passive are actually fulfilled, meaning that, hey, does this character get the buff? Does it not? Well, this part of the update fixes that. It makes it easier so that, it makes it easier so that they can read the passive, how the character can achieve the parts of the passive, what kind of buffs they get. Do they give some kind of supports? And it's all in bullet points, so it's pretty much simple sentences because for the love of hell, I will not be reading a very long paragraph. And this is where translated into your own local language, it will look even longer because it really depends on how the passive is translated from Japanese to any other language. But so forth, it's just very long to read. That's why this part of the update exists. Next, I do want to also mention this, the battle UI. Now, JP Dokkan did tweet out this when 16 hours ago. Well, it was supposed to be a little shorter than that, but I messed up. So we're watching this right here. If I can compare it to this one, you'll see the major differences. So what you're seeing right now, before we even get in, is the major U-Haul for the map UI. So you have your space, so you have your buttons right here, the amount of spaces it'll take for you to get to the boss, or yeah, the amount of spaces it'll take for you to get to the boss. The color UI is a bit different. Actually, can we see the beginning of that? Just give it like an additional few seconds here. Yeah, so if you take a look at the buttons on the current layout compared to the next update's layout, is the the icons are massively different. Not entirely, just because the orange tint or hue is still there. It's just more modernized. It's more fresh. If I had to, I'm gonna keep saying that because that's how this update is going to feel when it comes out in probably the next few days. And by the way, there's gonna be a maintenance. I hope they announce a maintenance. If not, then it'll probably just be like a straight up dead download, really. And then it'll just be like, oh, it's completely fresh Dokkan 2 stuff in there. So that's pretty much a major difference. Oh, what you call it, the character wheel has also been taken out and replaced with the characters that will be coming into the first rotation when you get to a fight or a boss. So as you can see down here, it'll only show the next three characters. It is sort of a downside, and I've seen it already. There's some negativity on it. There's some slight negative feedback on it. I would say the same thing. I would rather see all my characters, like who's gonna be in the first rotation and the next and so forth, instead of having to see like who's the first three coming in. It's a little easier to read it that way. But at the same time, it's supposed to be more simple. So that's probably the reason why they're doing it this way. Some also movement changes around here. The item menu has been pushed to is on the bottom right corner. I think it's still down there because now it's outside of the HP bar and all that stuff. The menu to access the audio, to exit the stage, or to skip active or passive, no, active and standby skills, they're up here now. HP is different, or HP UI is different, and the Dokkan meter UI is also changed as well. Majorly everything is changed on the bottom, and some stuff has been moved to the top. That's good. Like I said, looks a little bit more fleshed out from what I'm seeing, but it's going to be improved. That's the one thing. What else? There's more. We're gonna dive into this right now. So, yep, here we go. This is the permanence of the battle. I do like this because it shows a full character PNG or sprite in here compared to the current one that we have right now. So once we get to a boss, right, this is what it normally looks like. I do like it because it's, like I said, it just shows the full character PNG or images compared to the current one that we have now. I think it's fine that way. Yeah, nothing against it. And the versus logo has changed dramatically in here, so that's cool. All right, so this part, the passive. Normally with passives being shown, I think currently they don't show. They'll probably show the boss's buffs that look like that, but then it'll come out like one by one. Yeah, instead of showing like what kind of buffs the enemy has at one shot. But this is what the passive skill UI looks like for the actual team itself. It doesn't show what kind of buffs they're getting, hence the reason why this exists in the first place. It's just to basically display what buffs are being used currently on the character during that turn. So it's just, a way of notifying the player that, hey, these buffs are activated. Oh, that's cool. I do want to mention this right here. When when a character orb changes the field, it will basically look like a key explosion effect, which basically notifies the player, hey, uh, key spirits have been changed to a certain type. This is where they're going to be changed at. Much more noticeable compared to the current version where it's pretty subtle but it's noticeable. Well, I want it to be, but I guess it makes sense. You want it to be noticeable, you gotta make it noticeable. Fun thing right here. So, one little thing right here, little detail right here. So, as you can see right here at the bottom, at the what do you call it? I'd say the character lineup, or the attack lineup. If a character has a type disadvantage against the enemy, the enemy's attack, or the arrow on the enemy icon will go up. It means they will do more damage. So if you don't want that, you can swap rotations. It's just a little bit of a, nice minor change right there on the bottom part. Just to show, hey, characters that are SCR or red will not be effective against blue characters or AGL. And if you guys do want a better visual, legend or key or whatnot, this will basically show that. It's very useful. Oh, the turns have been moved up here. That's right. Normally the turn number will be down at the HP, where the HP bar is and everything, but that's not the case. It has been pushed to the very top left, and it's noticeable, nice and noticeable. What else? I see. Yeah, I'll show you the next character in the next set of characters in the next rotation. The item button has been pushed up to here, so you can use whatever items you're gonna be using. Support memory wise, I think that's in there as well. That's all I'm seeing so far. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention is the character sprites. So, previously, they've mentioned that there's going to be animated sprites, and the only ones that are going to have it are, well, at the moment, are Kid Goku and Super Saiyan Goku. And they said they'll also add more. They'll add more animated sprites. So the sprites that we have right now are not going to be animated until they are going to be animated. So it's gonna take a while. Of course, it's gonna take up more space on your phone. I'm not surprised. So, uh, the more the better, the more the merrier. But hopefully hopefully my storage on my phone doesn't run out very quickly. Yeah, but it's very useful, and I like this actually. Characters that I like this. I like this effect right there. Oh, there we go. This is a new normal attack animation, which is pretty sick actually. Oh, I like that. So I like the little subtle detail in here too. So whenever a character does an additional, it'll show that, hey, we're gonna do an additional attack, and that's the additional attack icon. Right, super attack. Boom, new KO screen right there. Pretty cool. It doesn't look like there's anything like, oh, caught that. I caught that. Kid Goku loading screen. I'll be honest, people are gonna miss the Spirit Bomb Goku loading. People are gonna miss that, and I'm like, oh my god, there's gonna be a nostalgia factor in there. There has to be a point where they can actually let us change, the now loading icon, but going back between this Kid Goku sprite and then the Spirit Bomb Goku sprite. That'd be cool. Yes, but that is what it looks like now, right here. Also, another detail: whenever you complete a stage, uh, yeah, whenever you complete a stage, it doesn't go into that traditional. Let's see, I have to pull that up right now. Um, yeah, to push it onto here. It doesn't go back to this traditional completion screen. It's gonna go into basically the background of where you actually did your stage at, which is a cool detail. I like it. So just these major slash minor details are being added into here to make the game fresh. So I'm not really surprised that they're doing this, but it's cool. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk more about this in the 10th anniversary pre-stream broadcast, which is coming out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Am I gonna be streaming this? Probably not. But I'll definitely be reacting or going through the entire broadcast because, in spite of the battle hour being canceled, right? They had to do something like this and it works. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure they're gonna reveal the LRs and then they'll tell us, hey, the LRs are going to be coming in 2 weeks or maybe next week. I don't know, but we'll see. The countdown hasn't even started yet either, I believe. So we'll be seeing an official countdown probably starting on like the 19th or the 18th. And then we'll be getting it until like the 28th or the 29th is when they'll release. I think that's pretty much mostly that. The only the only issues I see for this update, for this new Dokkan 2 update, is one, the character wheel. I feel like people would love the I feel like people would mostly prefer, some people would prefer the character wheel of this compared to this. I could be wrong, but that's just some people's opinions. I like to have the I like to have the ability where I can retroactively switch between the modern UI and this UI. I would like to have that ability. That's just asking for that's asking a lot for it, but I feel like I feel like we should have the option to do so, and that would be very nice. So that way people feel like, oh, Dokkan used to look like this back in the day. Oh, I could just switch to it, something like that. It's just one idea I could just throw out at the top of my head. But there's nothing too much, but in reality, it's a lot. In reality, it's a lot. So, let me know how you guys feel about version 5.25.0 again. had to record this again, but that's fine. But this time there's a bunch of better commentary, and you guys will be hearing my thoughts pretty elaborately. But this is mostly fine. I give this pretty much an 8.5 out of 10. It's a really good update, but it's not supposed to be like the greatest update at the moment, because they're gonna be adding more features in later on. So I'm assuming when we get to like 6.0 or something like that, then there's gonna be like the biggest major overhaul for the entire game. But we'll see. We'll see. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.